Welcome to the Yakuza fan podcast, Spoilercast.
It sounds weird when you say it.
I know it does. So today we're going to be talking Yakuza 6. I think we've all beat it here. I'm here with Cal and a variety of other guests. So let's try and do this. Go down the list here. Forte Cannon.
You did it.
You're returning Daytona champion.
Yep. Welcome back. Glad to have you here. Hiraishin or Peter. I'm not sure what you prefer to go by, so I'll do both.
Hiraishin is okay.
Good. Great.
Yeah, it's me, the second in command of the Daytona.
Oh yeah, I'm never going to live this down. This is perfect. Okay, then we've got Lenny. I think Lenny's here.
Hi.
Welcome. Okay, then Romantic Misery.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Perfect.
I'm Brazilian before you guys forget.
It's very obvious very quickly. And then I think we have a listener here, Zengaku. I don't know if you're actually participating or just listening, but welcome anyway.
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. So, guys, Yakuza 6. Have we all played it? We've all beat it?
I finished it, going through the premium adventure right now.
Very nice, very nice. So
I finished the game. I did not finish it on Legend yet, but I did most of the stuff in the game, so
very good.
Basically, it's done.
I skipped all the cutscenes. That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, skip the cutscenes.
I plowed through the game story mode. I'm still messing around on Premium Adventure. I've yet to 100% it, but I'm on my way. I'm trying to juggle it and Zero and the site and work, and it's a mess.
I watched the entire Sao Yen playthrough. He played through and translating in real time the Japanese version because there's the one there. Is. So yes, I didn't play the game, but I watched the whole game, so I know everything.
It's like playing the game, only cheaper.
Yeah.
I still haven't beaten it.
I can even pretend I'm playing the game by holding my joypad on my computer and doing the motions, right?
Just sitting there pretending. I used to do that with my little brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I think that's everyone. So,
Yeah,
I guess let's jump right into this.
Talk over people.
Oh, sorry, it's very difficult. I'm relying on the little green icons of Discord here to let me know who's talking at any time.
Yeah.
If
I was just going to say...
If you guys want to muscle
Shut
your way
up!
It's already off to a great start, guys. Sorry.
it's perfect.
Yeah, I was just going to say I finished it and platinumed it and all that.
Oh, very nice.
Damn.
You've done the most out of everyone.
Okay, fine. We're a big expert here. Cal's already started hitting me.
I'm showing the guest that you can actually understand Japanese because what the hell, the sub stories, all Japanese. I wouldn't make anyone. I wouldn't make any of them because I can understand it. So
There's that one with the kid that speaks English
That one is
for
great.
a little bit.
You know what?
yes,
Let's
the
take sub stories for a
English.
second here.
That's Pocket Socket Fighter's son.
Let's
was
jump
awesome.
right in.
Son, yes.
Shh. Hold on, Pete. Hold on, Cal. Cal, you're getting ornery. Sit down. Calm down. Guys, let's talk about the overall plot. I think that's the best place to start. I think that's got the most divide out of everything. So, what did you guys think? Was it a fitting end to the series? Cal looks like he's got something to
I
say.
was just excited. This is the first time I've shushed someone to this.
Yeah, great. Perfect. So, let's see if we can do this without talking over each other too much. What did you guys think?
To me, it was a good end for Kazuma. For Kazuma chapter, yes. For Kazuma and Haruka, yes. It was a good ending. I liked the plot overall. I have no complaints. Actually, I have no complaints from the plot by itself. Could be a little longer, maybe, but it was pretty good. Very straightforward, too. Once it started, it didn't let up. I liked it very much.
Okay, I've got my thoughts on that in a few minutes here. So, anyone else want to jump in? What did you guys think?
I'll go ahead and jump in on this. I think this plot was pretty great, despite... Okay, the end was good. I have a few problems with it.
Yeah.
That are just my things. But I like the plot. I don't know what people are saying, that this is a weird plot. It's a basic Yakuza plot to me.
Okay, so remember, this is the spoiler cast, so go ahead. What did you find was a little bit weird about this?
Okay, the ending with Kiryu faking his death.
That That was the worst part of the game. I hated that so bad.
I thought it was great in the fact that he's alive because I was afraid he was going to die.
See, I was hoping
he did.
I was hoping they'd have the balls to kill him. Honestly, I think I would have respected the game more if they would have pulled that trigger literally.
Yeah.
So would have
Yeah.
I. My reasoning is I want to know what Kiryu does next.
I don't know if we're going to find out. I
We're
think
never
that
going to find out.
they're either going to retire him or he's going to move to more of a Kamaki position where he's going to train maybe the next person. Either that or we're not going to find out.
I have this dream where in the Yakuza 7, right, a future Yakuza 7, you're playing as someone else and you're doing a sub story, and then you bump into a guy who's actually Kazuma and he has his little kid and his wife. That's it. That's my dream right now.
Too old for a kid and
Play
wife.
3 different girls if you wanted to. Who knows?
really play as Takeshi
How old
Kitano.
is he in the end of 6? He's like...
Oh man, if you would play as the Kitano, man, I'd be so happy.
He's in his 50s, isn't he?
Kitano rises from the dead.
I think Kiryu's in his late 50s in 6, so like if he's got...
49.
If he wants to see, if he
No, I
wants to
think-
start a family, now's the
No,
time.
he's not in his late
he's
50s.
he's
If you
48.
did the math,
48?
he's 48.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
That's
10 years
basically
off.
agent.
He's a very old man. You can see the wrinkles on it.
Grandpa Kiryu.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
what I
Hiraishin.
would like to say about the story, it's like Jordan said, it was actually a basic Yakuza plot. I mean, we had the betrayals, we had the weird-ass plot devices with the
Deaths.
Yeah.
with the fucking ship rising from below the fucking
Oh my
bay.
god.
on,
Let's talk
bullets.
about that for a second. What the
Yeah.
My
fuck were
only
they
gripe-
thinking?
When you see the Chinese characters in the game, like
Yeah.
let's say Big Ro, for example, he actually had some good fucking, he had some good qualities. I mean,
Yeah.
he actually tried to help Kiryu with all this conspiracy about the secret of Onomichi, but when you look at the Koreans, it's just them being assholes. So
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
exactly the point that I had about too.
this could have been one of the major points that got the game banned, but seriously, we are playing a game about organized crime, right? So it shouldn't really matter.
Exactly.
when some-
Nanji-
let me please finish. Let me please finish.
Sure, go ahead.
It shouldn't be such a major issue to only show Korean criminals or some shit like this. I don't know why this is a criterion to get entirely banned. Like, what was it? Like 2 days before release in Korea?
They just put up a blog post saying that's it.
By the way, it's not coming out. But the thing about the Chinese mafia is, like you said, they do have characters that are in good guys, basically. Whereas they only But even in other Yakuza games.
Yeah. What I thought
And
was
then
really
you
weird
complain
about that
about
banning,
Hollywood.
they had that big event in Korea. Like they had a full on Riga Gotoku event where they brought Nagoshi over. They had like billboards up and shit where they announced, "Oh, we're going all in on Korea. We're going to be bringing this over." And then 2 days before release, that's
Must
it.
have sucked.
I am honestly shocked.
Okay. Moving on.
No, we were going back to the stupid ship. So, what was more annoying, the Golden Castle in 2? Or the giant fucking ship in 6?
Hey, you know what? At least you fought inside the Golden Castle.
That's true.
The fucking ship was just
That's
there as a
right.
decoration.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I really love the way it changes Jingaicho. Like, the
Yeah,
way it
that's-
pops up and
that's
just
actually fun.
stays there in the background for the rest of the game, and even in the premium adventure.
Yes, but how does it pop up? That's the
Through a
problem.
Metal Gear-like hole.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
they had some kind of underground base, I guess, or something where
Yeah,
they
if
were
it had
storing
an
it.
underground base, underground
Yeah, but
socket,
all
I
they
don't know
did
that this
And,
was pull a switch.
So
Yeah,
this is Onomichi's secret?
Yeah.
We've been keeping this secret for half a century.
Pretty
No
bad.
one will ever figure it out.
No one will ever know.
I could understand the impact that the ship had because it's not about the ship itself, but the fact it was built with dirty money and got dirty people in power because of it.
Well,
I come from a
it wasn't
corrupted-
just dirty money. I think it was also built with slave labor and
Exactly,
illegal-
during the war.
exactly.
there's,
It was like the last major weapon that the Japanese wanted to use in the war.
Japanese
and, it never
wanted to
got finished.
use, but then the war ended. Yes, the Chinese helped building this ship. That's why Lord knows about the ship.
Yeah. Again, weren't helped. didn't help build the ship, were enslaved to build the ship. Big difference. And again, this still came out in China.
Just like how the Egyptians enslaved.
Yeah.
Egypt.
Egyptians helped build those.
I see what you're doing over here.
Speaking of which, Pharaoh's a fucking good game.
God damn it, Cal. I blame you for this. Okay. So, anyone else have any thoughts about the plot?
Talk. He's next on the list.
Lenny, how did you feel about the plot?
Well, I haven't really finished the game yet, but I really don't care about spoilers. So far, I'm on chapter 4 right now, I think.
Okay.
Chapter 5. And personally, I just feel like it's doing a little mix-up with dealing with the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to me so far, but then again, I'm a sucker for this, so...
Usually I am too. I thought it was so weird that they bothered to bring the orphanage back. They went so far as to render Okinawa to have Kiryu go there to interact with the orphans and then write them out almost immediately. And I felt the same way about all of the other characters. Like they went so far as to make Yakuza 6 Dragon Engine versions of all of your favorite characters, and they had maybe a total of 20 minutes screen time.
It's because they're a part of Kazuma's life. If you if you render them all, you're just showing that they're a part of his life, but you can't give them enough screen time and make the plot make sense.
I have feelings about that, though.
But
how about all the other people they didn't render?
But overall, I feel like the game just feels very rushed so far. It just feels like it's going too fast. It feels short.
Are you spending your time with all the sub stories? And
yes, I've been trying to find and do all the sub stories I can.
Yeah, I felt the exact same way. I'm playing through Zero right now, and I mentioned on Twitter the other day, I'm something like 30 hours into Zero.
More than that now.
More than that now, and I'm only on like chapter 7 or 8. And I finished Yakuza 6 in 25 hours. It feels so, like you said, it just feels kind of rushed. It definitely feels a lot more cinematic than ever before. But it does feel rushed.
It just feels rushed. I just love the game, but I just can't. I can't just see myself going back and consistently playing it over and over again like I do with the other games.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Continue.
But like with Zero, I've gone through the game twice, one on hard and one on legend.
Yeah.
And I'm going through Zero again for a third time for review, but
yeah.
With 6, I honestly I kind of compare 6 with the first game. It's taken so many steps forward, but also gone so many back.
Yeah. Oh, hands down.
I got a quick question about Zero.
Sure. But we'll try and keep it spoiler free just because...
it has nothing to do with the plot.
Okay, sure.
Can you see where your sub-stories are in that game?
No. And it fucking sucks. I hate it so bad. That was the best thing that 5 did.
Wait, what do you mean you can't see them? I thought you could.
You can once you activate them, but you...
Like 6.
Yeah, it's like 6, but...
Oh, actually, I think you actually have a... Don't you have a list that shows you all sub stories?
Yeah, there's a list.
I don't think...
No, I mean in Zero. I think there is actually a massive list which shows you the numbers of all sub-stories. Both characters, actually.
If I recall, it doesn't. The list isn't filled in. It only fills in as you activate them.
Until you activate the sub story, it'll be just question marks. But the sub stories aren't really that hard to find, in my opinion.
If anything, they jump out at you.
Yeah, like some of them you can't.
Well, that's the other thing. When I was playing through Yakuza 6. I missed so much on my playthrough just because I didn't bump into it like the other games. Every other game in the series, I feel like it moves you towards the bigger play spots. As I was blasting my way through the story, I missed the snack bar. I missed the fishing.
The baseball?
I missed... No, you have to go to the... Sorry. I went to the baseball field, but it didn't introduce the minigame to you.
What I mean.
The only one introduced is the clan.
Yeah.
That's because it's a tie-in.
Yeah, the clan creator's there, but to me, the clan creator was just another thing that felt kind of rushed.
Mm-hmm. And it was rather lackluster.
Yeah. Well, the clan creator, he just came through and showed a bit more of the evolution of what happened to those street gangs. The colored gangs, they split up, and then they rejoined to form this Justice gang.
The New Japan guys.
Yes, because the New Japan guys, the wrestlers guys, they beat them up to submission with the help of Joe. And then Joe saw they were becoming a gang itself, and then he pulled out. The thing about is, I'm fighting my friend that became evil, was what drew Kazuma in to help Joe. That's why the clan creator was formed. It's pretty interesting.
Regardless of whether it was, I mean, I think the plot. I think the plot is fine. My problem with the clan creator is the gameplay.
I haven't played
yet. It
just
feels like just baby's first RTS, and then you got all of the cards you need to get.
Seems very simple, though. Very simple. Yes,
it is.
I think personally, that I just wish they gave them another year and let them just flesh out everything. Because right now it just feels so unfinished, and I haven't felt this way since Metal Gear Solid 5 came out.
Yes, I will agree with that. I think this feels more finished than MGS5.
This one has an ending.
But I think it's got to do with the way that it pushes the sub-content and the way the sub-content interacts with the rest of the game. Like, Zero, everything, and even 5, everything worked to push you to the end game where you go do the arena, you go spend your CP points. Everything kind of worked together as a whole system. Whereas all the side stuff in 6 just feels like it's there. It's there if you want it.
Which is exactly how 1 was developed. I just wrote this in Fortune the Dragon today.
Yeah.
That was what Nagoshi basically wanted. He wanted a game where you could play the story, and if you wanted to play spots, you could. If not, you could completely ignore them.
But that was great for the time. But the way that they've done it in the more recent games, 5 and 0 especially, everything works together. Yeah, every single system pushes all of the other systems.
Which is good, but that's what everyone's been saying, is that 6 is closest to 1, which I agree with.
Well, yeah, but it's also because of the fact that this is the first time they did a new engine since, 3, or Kenzan, I should say.
It was Kenzan.
I think they did redo the engine. I think they
redid the engine for 5.
They
redid the engine for 5 because they said that Dead Cells would be the last game on the old engine that they had in Kenzan and 3 and 4.
I think that was more like an incremental upgrade, whereas this is a total remake. Because if you go and look at the city from even 0, it's very obvious that they're using the same base engine.
Right.
Whereas the Dragon engine feels like the first complete change. I think I said it at one point, it feels like the biggest change since 1 to... since 2 to 3. It feels like a complete overhaul. Everything feels different. The battle system feels amazing.
But technologically, the Dragon engine is so far ahead, and I was surprised by how expensive the game looked for a game that was being released only in Japan and Asia.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Going back to 0, it's so much clunkier compared to 6. Like, I'm so used to now when I'm walking, if I bump into someone on the street or if I bump into a wall, Kiryu's going to react. Whereas if I go into any of the older games, if I hit anything, even the tiniest little pebble, he comes to a dead stop. It feels so weird.
I'd like to add something to Lenny's argument about the game feeling rushed, which I agree with, actually. If you look at, let's say, games since the second part, you always had a side component that actually was so long to finish and sometimes really tedious or complicated. You had both the hostess and host clubs in 2. You had the Hitman missions in 3. All the side stuff for every character in 4, 5, and all the other games. And you look at 6. What do you have? You have baseball. Yep. You have the clan creator. You have the snack bar, and they all take so quickly to finish.
Yeah.
That and it's not even difficult to achieve that. I mean, the baseball was a little bit difficult for me because I have no fucking clue about baseball. For one, I cannot read Japanese. But once you
the language is killing me with baseball. I'm actually really enjoying the baseball.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
I really like that. Yeah, I really like
that. And even that felt so easy to finish. I mean, what took it? Like maybe an hour or 1.5 for me to finish like the main plot, like the sub stories and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And Clan Creator was also no major factor. I mean, you got your fucking stronger guys, and it was no issue to finich all of it, except the last missions where you have to fight 5 Amons at the same time. But this is something entirely different.
Forget that. 6 feels a lot like I'm just checking things off a checklist, and it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no real thought put into it. It was like, how quickly can we get these systems in the game?
Yeah,
and like they just kind of did it.
Yeah, I agree that it feels rushed, but I kind of have a problem with people saying it's unfinished, because if you kind of go back and look at like every Famitsu update and live stream and everything, like everything they showed up until release was in the game more or less. But that's why I don't feel like, because like, you know, people compare it kind of like to MGS5 being unfinished. Like with MGS5, there was like stuff that they showed in previews and everything that just didn't make it to the game. And
there's stuff that's straight up missing in MGS5, like.
Well, yeah, like the Mission 51 where you have to go back, try and recapture Sahelanthropus.
Yeah,
and from
but you can watch a movie about it.
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. But yeah, like I do agree that it feels rushed, and like that's just probably just the result of the way they develop these games, and also the fact that this past year was the first time that they had ever released 2 Yakuza games in 1 year.
Oh yeah,
which was a misstep.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a misstep, especially if they had 2 different teams working on it. From what I understand, they just took like the original animations of Yakuza 1 and put them into Kiwami. So it becomes very obvious that their PS2 level animations just being used.
Yeah.
See, I feel like the Famitsu Wednesdays kind of were overhyping the game, though. Because when you break a hole up into little parts, it looks like it's a lot more.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
Each week we were looking at, here's all the different things in, like, Jengaicho or something, and it's like, it's a gondola. And at the end of the day, that's all it is.
Yeah,
like,
you ride. Yeah, and who rides that fucking thing? With the sprint mechanic, I can just run to the top of the hill rather than sit through 3 loading screens. You got to go one when you pay for it, then you got to ride the thing up, and then another one at the top, and then you got to ride it back down.
Especially when you upgrade Kiryu with all his sprint upgrades.
That is the best.
This guy has more fucking stamina than a Kenyan marathon runner. Like, seriously, no.
Oh, jeez. So, what else?
What's the next topic?
So, the changes to Kamurocho and Jingaicho as a whole. So, what did you guys think of the updated city in the Dragon Engine? Did it work for you? Were you upset at everything missing?
This is the thing that I have to agree, and I will never change my opinion. This is the best rendition of Kamurocho we had in all of the games. Maybe Zero is the second best because it has the additional district that is there in place of the Millennium Tower. But other than that, it just fucking looks gorgeous. I mean, I'm playing it right now, and it's just fantastic.
Totally agree.
Personally, I love it, mainly because it's just so well detailed, but it's just disappointing about how small it is. But it's understandable because of, the time constraints and such. But the only problem I have is Hiroshima was it just felt too small. It felt like out of every game, I feel like that's just the smallest area. And I was really disappointed.
There's that one in, I think it's Yakuza 2, that is like 2 streets. I can't remember what the district is.
I forget which one that is.
It was this additional district with the TV tower. And
right. Yeah, that one.
But should we be comparing a PS4 game to a PS2 game?
Yeah.
For me, Hiroshima it really felt like that small town Japan, and I have such a fetish for that, where it's the same feeling I had with Persona 4, where I like small town, kind of old timey. Everything runs at a slower pace. The locals are all friendly for the most part. It's just that time, that Showa era feeling that I really love. That's why I read a lot of shonen manga, like that's set back then. So I don't know. Jingaicho kind of worked for me. I like the way it kind of picked different places from around Hiroshima to build a kind of a mishmash of the area. Maybe it was a little small, and I was definitely disappointed with the way in Tokyo they had the different sections blocked off. It felt so lazy just to stick a policeman in front of them and say, no, you guys can't go in there. I think their reasoning was there was like sewer flooding or something like that.
Was that what they would say if you?
I think that's what they were saying, that there was sewer flooding, which it begs the question: what the hell happened?
In real life, this whole district had a massive fire in. Actually, it's Golden Guy in Kabukicho, Champion District in this one. So maybe this is what they were going for, but it's still very weird that they left out this area in particular and the fucking hotel district.
Something I noticed when I was going through Kamurocho in 6 was from 4 to 5, I knew Kamurocho easy. Like once you finally got to Kamurocho in 5, I was like, okay, I know where everything is. I'm good to go. But when I started walking around in 6, a lot of it felt like kind of unfamiliar to me, and it was hard to navigate where I was going, especially with most of things blocked off.
Oh yeah, Kamurocho just feels so incredibly different than the previous games. Like you can see the familiar landscapes, but it's just the only problem is that they're just placed differently.
Yeah,
like the entire city has been redone from scratch. You can tell that, but you try to go to a certain area to think that something's there, but it's not there. It's with something different from a different part of town.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I really like that because it made me feel like Kiryu. Like he's been in prison for 4 years, and I remember 3 years, whatever. I remember reading interviews saying that they wanted him to have this sense of lost time, like the city has changed and he's feeling kind of out of place. Yeah. And with the changes that they did to Kamurocho, with everything being the same but being slightly off, I actually really like the way they remade the city.
I guess that's fine.
Well, if you put it that way, then yeah, that's understandable.
You see, I can lore explain my way out of most of this.
I came out of prison and the world changed. Everything was so fast.
Exactly.
Handle this.
Everything got slightly bigger and moved slightly to the right.
What I want to understand is, where did Kiryu get the smartphone?
Yeah, they made such a big deal about giving Kiryu a phone in Yakuza 1, and here he just shows up. Got out of prison, I got my standard issue smartphone.
To be fair, a lot has changed since Yakuza 1.
But they tried, the way they tried to bookend it, I saw a lot of stuff that mirrored Yakuza 1. Right down to the sub-story of the guy in the bathroom that needed toilet paper. They really tried to make it a bookend. Like, they released Yakuza Kiwami, and then bookended it with 6 in the same year.
Yeah,
and there's so many parallels between both of those games that I feel like it seemed weird that they just gave him a cell phone.
Someone should have given it to him.
Yeah.
Speaking of the resemblance between 1, I feel like it's just the game is just entirely a callback to 1 because it was a new game, new engine, new risks to be taken for Sega.
Yeah.
And I feel like 6 is exactly the way Yakuza 1 is. It's got a very new combat system, which it feels unpolished. In that, the reason I say unpolished is because it's much more physics based.
Okay.
And it's much more smoother, and that has its pros and its cons.
Sure.
But it doesn't feel clunky. It just feels unpolished. And
I'll jump in here for a second. I agree with what you're saying. I really like the battle system, except for the heat actions. I was so disappointed with that. And going from the earlier games where you have all of this variety, especially with the weapon types, and in Zero and Kiwami, the different styles you can use to just bring it back down to a single style that feels at times a little bit floaty, and then you're reusing the same heat actions over and over again. I felt so disappointed that the only type of blade weapons that I was picking up in the game was like a samurai sword and a knife, and that was it. Or I would pick up the giant cone; it would do the same animation as picking up a barrel, or the same animation as picking up a bike. It just felt
you also had Chinese broadswords as bladed weapons.
Yeah, exactly. I think I used those.
But it ended there. It just ended there. You had a Chinese broadsword katana and like a switch knife and a Japanese knife. That's it. That's a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, it's. I feel like they just didn't really focus on heat moves as much. It's just the actual combat itself. Because the combat itself, I love it. It's fun. I just can't compare it to Kiwami or Zero.
I totally agree. Going back and having to worry about locking on, I'm finding when I'm fighting in Zero, you throw a punch, and unless you're locked onto someone, like, you cannot turn around. Whereas I feel it's so fluid in 6, where you can punch someone in front of you and then do a backhand, kick someone behind you. Like,
yeah,
it felt a lot more fluid.
It's fluid. But I'm still going to stick to my point that it still feels unpolished. Because first off, because it's so physics based, having to like get your shit kicked in whenever like someone else just like runs and doesn't even kick the bike, they just run and it just like makes you fucking fall.
Yeah,
that pisses me off so much. It's happened to me so many times. It's made me so frustrated that I've just like. I put off the game for like ever since.
Oh wow!
That chapter.
Given that it's unpolished, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but when someone's down on the ground and you do that running kick and they go flying, I love that.
Yeah,
this is fucking good. This is really great.
That is the best part of the fighting for me. Is just sending people just.
If I might add something to the combat system, like also the fact, like Lenny said. Whatever fucking comes flying at Kiryu, he falls down and you can't.
He just ragdolls to the ground.
This is pretty bothersome. But now after playing this game for how much was it? Like maybe 20, 30 hours. Yeah. The combat feels good and it feels very satisfying. But my problem is I played, and of course I have to put up Zero for comparison again.
Yeah.
I played Zero. I went into my first real battle on the streets and it felt awesome. Right off the bat, it felt awesome.
Yeah.
In Yakuza 6, the first battle you walk in, and it feels tedious and rather difficult at first, actually. Mm-hmm. And this is something that I'm very mixed about this combat system. Like, if you kick someone into a fast food joint and just demolish the complete fucking place, if you take a sledgehammer and beat people's faces in, this feels so satisfying in this game. And also the heat actions, even though they're limited in scope, they are pretty intense, and this is what I like most about Yakuza combat, when the heat actions are, when you and Kiryu just goes apeshit crazy and all violent on people.
I really like the way you can jump into heat mode in this.
But the fact that, like, when someone blocks and your punch gets thrown back, which is realistic, but then people just gang up on you and Kiryu flies 500 meters up to the sky. This is the point that... I think they should have maybe dialed it down a little bit with this one.
Yeah,
the physics I fucking love.
Stop him.
Yeah.
Some of the heat actions, but I'd call it jankiness for me personally. That makes this combat system rather mixed.
I think
personally, all I think they needed to do was just made the combat heavy. Because I'm going to be honest, whenever you're trying to throw your punches, they feel light. It doesn't feel like there's much impact going on until like you do a hard
doesn't that make the heat actions feel more impactful though? Like when you're in heat mode, I feel like you do get those heavy punches, especially when you throw it in some guy's jaw and it does that zoom in and you got to rap on the button. That is one of the best moments of the game to me, was that quick time event heat action. Everything gets super visceral and intense. Just going from light punches to, no, you're in it now.
Yeah. It's just, personally, I just, the heat just felt underwhelming. And with the way they kind of treated it in 6, I feel like they should have just, and I know I'm going to I'm going to be told I have a shit opinion for this, but personally, I think they should have just ditched heat. They should have just ditched the heat.
Really?
Because they could have used the more resources to focus on the fighting itself rather than the heat. Because I feel like the heat is
integral to the game, though.
It is integral to the game, but they didn't implement it in a good enough way for me to consistently use it. Out of all my time, I've only activated heat like once.
Really? I found myself activating it like all the time. That was the finishing.
I was using it all the time.
The reason why I've only been using it once is because I just didn't feel the need for it. It's the other games it can be beneficial. In 6, it doesn't feel as beneficial. Like in 0, whenever you use a heat move, you can get more cash from it, and you can exploit that. But in Kiwami, you have the potential of getting more experience. But in 6, there's nothing special about it at all, other than it's looking cool at the end of a fight if you're able to do that. I just.
Lenny, I got a quick question for you.
What's up?
Did you play the 6 beta?
Yeah.
Came with Q1? So did you prefer the combat in that more? Because I remember that combat being way heavier than it is now.
Yeah, I actually really like the combat, and I know that's not a popular opinion either.
To me, it felt almost exactly the same. Like I didn't feel like there was much of a difference.
They are the same a bit, but in the beta, you couldn't pick up any weapons or anything, and you couldn't do any heat actions other than pressing R2. But the thing is in that demo, I used heat a lot more, mainly because it just felt more impactful, and I don't know why. It just felt like the demo was really, really fun.
I felt the beta's combat was really slow.
But and that's understandable, because 6's combat to me feels slow. Just in general, even in the beta, even in the final game, it just feels slow, and I really don't know why. I think it's just because of how the animations are done now. Instead of being instant, they take their time. It feels like they just pulled out. They went and saw GTA 5, and they're like, "Holy shit, those animations are so cool." They're like,
actually, the combat in GTA 5, I barely ever fight with Fizz, but it feels so fucking satisfying in GTA 5. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
No,
they spent more than a year on that game too.
Yeah, they had probably quadruple the budget. Like that GTA 5 had like a $5 million budget? No, not even more than that. I think it was like a $20 million.
Much more than that.
Like it was insane.
Not counting advertising, it cost $135 million to make.
Holy shit! Yes,
hey man, don't look at Star Citizen. Don't look at Star Citizen.
Oh god,
that game.
Yakuza's probably.
I don't know who is giving Star Citizen money. Like I feel like every week I see an update about Star Citizen and it crossed this new goal and it's now got like a $1 billion budget.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're getting their funding from.
But getting back to Yakuza. Overall, I like the combat. I like the combat for its own reasons. But comparing it to previous Yakuza games, I can see myself going back to 0 and Kiwami and enjoying and having so much fun messing around with different styles. But because there's not much variety in 6's gameplay, I can't really see myself going back and playing it as often. It just feels.
I also have a point about the ultimate heat mode. Whenever I activate such modes in different games, like let's say God of War, for example, where you also had such modes.
Yeah, and
I expect,
games.
especially, I expect to be invincible and a fucking beast. But whenever Kiryu activates his ultimate heat, even basic moves can interrupt your combos, so you can't even get to the point where you trigger the combos, like this zoom in punch and stuff. Yeah, exactly. That was fucking annoying. I mean, you had massive, like very difficult. No, not very difficult, but some annoying boss fights. You thought that the ultimate heat could save your ass by doing the combo, and he throws a piss poor punch, and it fucking interrupts Kiryu, and he goes all flying again.
Yeah, or I've had it where the bosses just block, and even in ultimate heat, you just bounce right off the.
Yeah.
I just really hope that they'll, if there is out there on wherever they're looking. I really hope they take this criticism to heart, because 6 was just so disappointing. It's just so disappointing to me so far. And
I got to agree. I think it was a bit of a disappointment. There are things I love about it. I actually really like the combat system, except for the different styles. Overall, though, it was a definite step down.
Yeah. But I just hope that whatever they do with 7, if they're going to do 7, unless they're going to do another spin-off or if they're going to do Kiwami 2, I just really, really hope that for Kiwami 2, they don't use Dragon Engine and keep it for the mainline games.
Really?
Yeah, I also agree with this one.
I could go the other way. I'd really like to see what they do with Kiwami 2 in the Dragon Engine. Like, if they've had this extra time to build it, and if they want to really try and nail how Yakuza 2 felt, like that big step up, I think that would be really cool to feel what they've done in that extra year or 2 years to make the Dragon Engine feel like Yakuza 2.
The reason I also bring this up is because of asset reuse, which is very, very, very heavily done in Kiwami.
Yeah.
So much is just redone and pulled from 0. And Sotenbori is in 0 as well, so it'd be much more beneficial to just rip it out of 0.
Yeah.
Just place it
that's true.
Kiwami.
I mean, if you look at the Kiwami, the rendition of Kamurocho and Kiwami, you basically have all the stuff to make 2 out of it. I mean, you also have Host Club Adam. You have it in the Hotel District. You have Host Club Marietta with the management minigame. So, yeah, basically. And also to keep parity with Kiwami 1, because, I mean, playing Kiwami 1, having the old engine, and then going straight to Kiwami 2 with the new engine, and everything looks fucking different, and that's a little bit funny.
Another reason why I bring up the city is because 6's city is just so different, and having to remake how it was in 2, just so that way it can keep up the parity. That's what is making me think that they should just stick to the old engine, because honestly, I'm going to be honest, I prefer the 1080p 60 FPS over the 900p 30 FPS.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why it just feels so light to me, because like trying to play 5, like 5 is almost unplayable for me, because like, first off, barring from it being too fucking long,
that game gets pretty framey in some spots.
It's just the slowdown in the fights. Oh my god! It just makes the fighting feel not fun. And
I don't know. Five to me, I don't know. How can I be diplomatic about this? You're wrong. Categorically.
Yeah.
5.
That's the 5 fanboy, all right?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought 5 was so good with all of the different systems. I didn't really have any problem with the combat because I felt like I was changing it up so often, and with all the shit to do, and then you've had all the another drama stuff.
I hated playing 5.
Oh no, 5 to me was the pinnacle of the PlayStation 3 series. I thought everything kind of came together with all the sub-stories, all of just everything that game did, I thought did better than every other game on the PlayStation 3.
I think 0.
Oh, I'm not counting.
That will most likely challenge this one, because it's. By the way, it's almost arriving at my place. It's very close.
Oh, very nice.
Almost here.
But I just want you to come closer. Just come closer. I just want Haruka's chapter.
You mean the best?
Just letting you know
the best chapter.
Do you think that including that within one of the best PlayStation 3 games of all time?
I would mark that as the best PlayStation 3 game of all time.
They could have cut out
Shinada's chapter.
I'm going to be honest.
Cut out Shinada's chapter, double the length of Haruka's, add like a few more songs. Yeah. You're not going to convince me otherwise. Yakuza 5 was the best. It was so good.
Why do you say that? Because like I know somebody.
I had to mute my TV just.
Now, it sounds like I'm joking. I adore Haruka's chapter. You guys know Haruka is my favorite character in the series, and I love music rhythm games.
I also know that you fucking love Miku games.
No, that was me.
That's Cal. I am actually very lukewarm on Miku
games. Are fucking awesome, guys. What the fuck?
I am big on Taiko games.
Miku, Idolmaster, all that.
I've never played Idolmaster, actually.
Okay, but
anyway, back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic.
Back on topic. I'm glad you guys all agree Yakuza 5 is the best in the series.
No.
If we're gonna have this debate, I swear to God,
it's not a debate.
I have a proposal to make, an offer you really can't refuse right now. Now, Yakuza 5 is a beast of a game. Let's do a separate cast for that, because there are also many issues with that one that I feel should be addressed.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff to dislike in 5. I'm not going to deny that, but to sit here and say that Haruka
No, you need to calm down.
Okay. Enough with this meme. Let's get back to 6.
Okay.
I would like to add something about, because Onomichi has been omitted a little bit.
Okay.
So my opinion about that town is, I also like you, Deacon, this small town feeling, but I think this is just for me. I watched so many old Yakuza movies set in Hiroshima, where they just start fighting in these small alleyways that Yakuza 6 captured this so great.
I totally agree.
This is totally awesome.
Yeah. Especially having a beat Takeshi, it feels
exactly.
It's about it feeling more cinematic. It really does feel like that, especially with the actors that they got in. It feels great.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Mm.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. It felt uncanny. Like there's an uncanny valley when trying to watch the cutscenes, because the way they did the animations are so well. It surprised me.
My favorite part of that is the way they do the mocap. They do the voice actors separately to the way that they mocap the rest of it. Like they don't put Takeshi in a suit, like in a mocap suit. They have someone else pretending to be him, watching his mannerisms, and then they bring him in and put him in front of the facial capture camera, and that's how he does his lines.
Takeshi, for some reason, for one part, that is during the flashback when you see him all young.
That was fucking awesome. I thought they did such a good job.
That doesn't look like Takeshi when he was young. That just looks like old Takeshi, but with less wrinkles.
No, I disagree. There is a part right in the middle of Takeshi's life where he goes through this transformation from young Takeshi to old Takeshi. I thought they got him right there.
I wanted to see how he looked in the movie Brother with Omar Epps.
Oh, yeah, before he melted.
Pre-crisis Takeshi.
I think it must
did you guys
have
notice at all?
been his experiences in Takeshi's castle that made him so old.
God, I love that show.
Kiryu, Takeshi's castle. Oh, no.
that one scene where they're all standing around laughing, and then Takeshi just pops up behind them and he's giggling.
Yeah, that was so fucking good.
Yeah.
That made me my favorite scene of the game. Did you guys notice playing through it at all if there was any sub-stories or parts of the game that changed based on your actions? I only noticed one sub-story, and this is going back a little bit to the demo, where you had that second where you could see a guy being dangled out of the window, and if you didn't look up in time, he would get dropped, and then you wouldn't get the key to unlock the safe. I thought that was so cool, and I was really hoping we'd see more of that in 6. And then I think I only noticed one mission that changed, and it was such an inconsequential change that it didn't make any difference.
The only thing I noticed that changes is how I'm not getting that sick cam girl ending like you got magically.
I don't know what I did.
I was sitting here a couple hours ago trying to get that damn thing. I couldn't.
It's getting creepy now. Stop.
That was that was the best.
Yeah.
That could not have gone better.
The minigame is awesome. Like, this is the best thing motherfucking 6 added. No questions asked.
Yep, I totally agree.
I was sitting there in front of the TV with my brother and was like, look, she's fucking undressing now, look.
I was sitting there with my kids. Don't look. Why?
All right, kid, it's time to put your hands over your eyes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, kids. I've got to play this. I've got a Spoilercast to
do. I didn't do this for research.
Yeah. I'm reviewing it.
But that was just one thing that kind of disappointed me. I was hoping to see a little bit more dynamic situations. Maybe they changed that for the trouble. Is it the trouble missions?
Yeah, it's the
trouble missions. Yeah.
But if you fail a trouble mission, does anything bad happen? Like if you don't help the person who's holding onto the side of the building, will they fall off?
Later on.
Yeah, but like if you're standing there looking at them when it fails, do they fall off? Or does it just nothing happen?
Nobody knows.
That's another thing. It was so easy. I never failed one.
Because there was a trouble mission in Onamichi where there's a guy dangling above in the little arcade shopping.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
place.
the one I missed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't remember if I saw him like fall because I was like trying to figure out, I was like, how the hell do I get up there? And I was like running around trying to find the ladder, and then like I failed it, but I don't remember if I saw him fall or not.
Yeah.
Did any characters from that beta show up in the final game?
Scar?
Actually.
Yeah, the Scarface.
At the very end of Black Trailer.
Really?
Scarface actually.
Yeah.
I totally didn't recognize him.
I remember, the first time when I saw the Scarface dude from the beta was in the Clan Creator. He shows up at the end.
Yeah. I think there's also a wafer card that you can adds them to the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but again, this is just Clan Creator shit. And
but
it's so inconsequential.
Yeah, but other than that, no, he wouldn't.
Okay, well, I guess that answers that. So, what's everyone's favorite play spot? I know we kind of touched on this a little bit already, but so
it's hard not to say cam girls.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
The cam girls.
I'm gonna be straight up. The cam girls are my favorite.
Okay, I don't mind the cam girls. I wish they would have just added a little bit extra to it. Like,
me too.
I love what they do. I love where everything goes with that.
Need more cam girls.
But I want the ability to. Yeah, I think there needs to be more of them for one. Like two is not enough.
To bring in
maybe like
if they offered a season pass where they would just roll out a new cam girl every month, I'd be down for that.
I'd buy it.
DLC cam girls.
They should have made it like this, that if you finish all of these cam girl specific stuff, these cutscenes, that he gets her number, meets up, and then you get a San Andreas like hot coffee mod for it. Oh shit!
That's a good
I think that the cam girls.
Sorry, man, I had to do it.
That's okay. I don't disagree. Yeah. I think that the cam girls was just. It seemed weird that all you were doing was just pressing button inputs. There was no like heat move for it. Does that make sense? Like every other thing, even the baseball, you can activate your heat and like do something special. And it's that way in like all the other games, especially like the table tennis or even not even fishing this time. All of the play spots. Can you actually use your heat in them at all? Any of them?
I don't remember.
I actually don't think so. No.
See, and that's what I'm talking about by feeling unfinished. Every play spot in the previous games, if you were in a real rough patch, you can tap your heat and it like can bring you back from the brink. Whereas this, it just feels like just do what we're asking you to do, and there's no challenge.
And you know what they made really trivial this time around?
What's that?
Darts.
I haven't spent enough time with darts to.
I'm going to be honest. That's probably like the worst part. Darts.
Really?
Honestly, because it's so easy. Like playing it in Zero, and then whenever you get drunk, and it's fun because
yeah.
Then whenever you're playing 6, it's like just time it correctly.
Yeah.
Aim there.
Yeah. Especially when you finish all of the sub stories related to darts, and you get Paul Lim's darts at the end. Then this is the point where darts is practically a non-factor.
Well, the darts is already incredibly easy no matter what.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you get this master dart thrower's special dart, and it's basically a cheat item. Like, what is that saying about the guy who's doing the tie-in?
that he is just that good.
Yeah. He's that good that a part of his soul has been imprinted on the dart. It never misses. Oh dear.
Now, jokes aside, with the camgirl stuff, I think, and there's no question about it, it's only one of these two play spots that is reigning supreme on.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's either VF5 or it's not Outrun, Super Hang-On. One of these two.
Not Puyo Puyo?
Nah, man, I couldn't get into that shit. It was too hard.
I like me some Puyo Puyo.
Just kick him right now.
I think for me it was the Cat Cafe, to be honest. I know it's not much of a play spot, but the Cat Cafe and the fishing really felt like... The Cat Cafe, I love going out and finding the cats. I have so much fun just exploring the world, trying to guess what kind of cat food they like. I love that kind of shit that makes you go out on a adventure. And the fishing felt like such a Sega arcade game. Like, I felt like such a kid going through a light gun arcade game, shooting all these fish. Oh, it felt so good.
And it's
I would like to add something to the fishing minigame.
Yeah.
Fuck Kiryu punching the tigers in the castle, man. It's Kiryu punching sharks underwater right now.
Giant demon shark. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I gotta spend more time with that. That's another one. I've only got all this stuff half finished because I feel like I start it and then I just run out of steam and I need to come back to it later.
I think my favorite play spots, definitely the spearfishing. I did that quite a bit. It was fun doing that when I was trying to grind for like money and stuff.
Yeah.
And I also really like I really like the grass baseball.
The baseball.
Thing. Yeah, I like that. And I think the worst one for me was the Hostess Club, because I was doing that for sub-story reasons.
Yeah.
And just
not loneliness, not loneliness reasons. Sub-story reasons.
No, yeah. I swear, guys, I'm a happy person. But no, it's just like doing that. It was just very boring to me because I was just like pressing like. I mean, obviously, I didn't know what because like you have to figure out like the right thing to say. To get the bar to go up and everything, and I was just like half paying attention, just pressing random buttons, like, yeah, this looks good, and then hoping it works.
In the same category and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
I think maybe my opinion might change on that when the English version's out, because that was a little tricky for me. I think the same with the baseball. I think I'll have more fun with that once I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Now I played Yakuza 3 in Japanese, and I did all the hostess stuff, like 10 hostesses right off the bat, which was a little bit too much. Yeah, especially with Google Translate. I mean...
yeah.
I mean, the responses were fun, man, but you can only do this for so much, but I have to agree with Zengaku here. That Yakuza 6 hostess system was mediocre at best. I mean, I prefer the older system. They had a great system in 5. Why didn't they keep this?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like sometimes they don't need to change things just for the sake of changing them.
It's been the same through 5 games plus spin-offs. Why change now?
Well, why change it for something worse?
Yeah,
that's my biggest
exactly.
issue.
There was actually a good part in one of the hostess missions. I think it was with Sora, with one response, which got a little bit dark, and I really am curious what Kiryu says in that moment. Like, she's, I think saying something about her missing her family, and then you get several responses which are not that positive. And Kiryu, and Kiryu speaking to himself, when I consider this, all of my family is dead. Kazuma, Nishiki, and all of that. I can't even see them anymore. This one, I didn't understand much of it.
I'm indirectly responsible
I heard the names
for killing
and I knew what was up. And that was actually interesting.
Anything where you can get some more like exposition on the background of his character, what he's thinking is good. That's why we were liking Zero so much. He talks more.
I find that too. Zero Kiryu has a bit more of an inner monologue for everything that he does.
Yeah,
and I could have also chosen the second choice, the more dark one. I can't even see my family anymore, or something, or my family is long dead, or something. But I thought, you know what? Let Kiryu be a good guy, man. Just say something positive this time around.
I'm trying to pick up a girl.
Oh man, that sucks.
I miss them too.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
Oh, you know what? Oh, you know something about my family? My foster father killed my original parents, and my best friend tried to kill me. Yeah. What do you think about this?
The only girl I ever loved blew herself up.
Nah, she was actually shot. She didn't blow herself up.
Oh, that's right. No, Nishiki blew herself up.
But she wanted to blow herself up.
Right. Yeah, get it right.
That's all that counts, right?
Of course. Hey, now, whoever's listening to this and hasn't played 1, it's going to be a nice surprise when she doesn't blow herself up.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we hear everybody's favorite play spot?
Yes, we had a consensus.
Okay, perfect. So, next up, favorite sub-story. I haven't done every single sub-story, but I've got a few good ones, so let's hear it. What's the best sub-story so far?
I personally can't say anything about this because I can't find any of the goddamn sub-stories.
They are way harder in this one, I think.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to sit this one out.
The two that stick out to me is the Hiji one, and then...
Hiji was so fucking funny. Holy shit.
And then on
Oh, yeah, Hiji, yeah.
Sorry.
Sub-story number 5, I am human.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
And then there was I'm forgetting his name now. Orange.
Oh, Michio.
Michio.
Yeah. Yeah.
How could you?
That was so good. Yeah, our unofficial mascot, Michio. Oh, man.
Yeah, I also enjoyed those ones. Especially when he got into this encouraging the little girl and going into some real talk. That was actually very really nice.
Good. I feel like the sub-stories felt more like an actual Yakuza game than the rest of the game did. Really, it's the only... it's that weird goofiness that I look forward to, and I really felt like they managed to carry it through to 6, whereas the story I felt wasn't as good as any of the previous ones, but all of the sub-stories felt just as good. Like, it felt so right for the game.
There was also that one where you're talking to that little girl that was a fan of Haruka.
That was awesome.
I like that one.
That was so good. Oh, yeah. That is the one thing that I noticed that was different. So, when you guys did that sub-story, did you have to have a fight at the end? Or did you just go and buy the Haruka memorabilia?
Yes. Now that you mention it, there is actually something that changes when you are too late. If you go from the sub-story straight to Don Quixote, you can actually get some Haruka merchandise. Now, you go to Don Quixote and they tell you, try looking in the pawn shop, and then you get the Haruka merchandise. Otherwise, you have to get it by other means.
Yeah,
this is exactly. I think this is the only thing that changes.
Yeah, that is the one thing. And again, as I was saying before, I was really looking forward to weird changes if you didn't make it on time that were going to be like permanent or just something.
At the end, that was inconsequential.
I know. I understand that was inconsequential, but at the same time, it felt really cool. It felt like the world itself was a little bit more alive because I took too long. There wasn't even like an on-screen timer or anything like that. It was just I took too goddamn long.
Yeah, but this isn't revolutionary. Games have been doing this for years.
Yeah, but the way they showed it off in that demo, it really made it feel like you could miss something.
Yeah,
it is revolutionary for Yakuza, at least.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you still don't end up missing anything, so it doesn't really matter if it changes or not.
Get out of here, Cal.
The only difference is I spent money and you got to fight someone.
Okay, so yeah. Favorite sub-story. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here.
Everything that includes Pocket Circuit Fighter is my favorite, and I really enjoyed this sub-story.
Yeah, I'm glad he came back. I'm glad someone came back.
I am glad that he finally lost his virginity after all this time. I mean, that's fucking great.
Down.
It's really good.
Selling tofu in Hiroshima, man, what a life.
I really expected more people to come back, especially the sub-story cast. There's so many people that Kiryu's met over the years, and then this is his final game, allegedly his final game.
I was upset that
allegedly,
Majima weren't involved in the ending more.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute here, but
okay, good.
Let's stick on sub stories for now because that cast thing is. Any other favorite sub stories?
Well, I like the Pocket Circuit Fighter one too, but I also liked. I think there was two other ones. I think they were both in Onomichi. One of them was, I think, the time traveling girl.
That was one of my favorites. I love that one.
That one was really cool, and also the one where you kept whenever you either like come back to later in the story or you could keep going back and forth. I think going into the cemetery and fighting those weird ghosts.
That's the one I was gonna say. I like that one too.
That one was really cool.
I'd like to add some context on the sub story.
Yeah.
I was looking for Kitano, and I fucking ran all the time into this fucking cemetery and I had to fight ghosts, man. Why are you looking for Kitano?
They get those ghosts, like the later parts of that, they get surprisingly tough.
See, I didn't find it difficult at all compared to you.
I found that by like the final sets of ghosts, I was just getting steamrolled. But I had no healing items. I was all out of heat. And I had them gang up on me and ragdoll me.
Bullshit! You just suck at it.
Oh, that's true too. But the other one that I really enjoyed was what was it? There's the boy and girl that swap bodies. I thought that one was really clever. It's over in Onomichi, at the steps near the shrine.
Oh yeah.
Is that what was going on?
They fall down and they swap bodies.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
Is that what was going on there?
Yes, that's what was going on.
Huh.
Ah, jeez. Is that
I have to...
Sub-story?
There's actually one sub-story. It's also linked to the cam girls. It's when Kiryu sits there in front of the PC and the guy is telling her what to do. Yeah. And then she starts undressing and Kiryu's like, wow, what is she doing? Make her stop now. Oi, mate.
Poor old Kiryu.
I love reading his responses when he's typing that shit out. Ooh. But
I have to. I have to say, Kiryu's typing is much more advanced than my father's, man, because my father's only using one finger while typing.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Kiryu's got two fingers.
Except for when you're pressing the same letter and it's still using two fingers.
Yeah, when you say ooh and he's still typing two fingers on one single key. Oh, dude, those cam that was so good. Like, just as a minigame, the cam girls really stand out.
It's because it's different for a video game, like, because it brings in the real world videos.
Trust me, there's been several times. You guys can go back and watch my stream. The only reason I fucked up on one of them is because I was too busy looking at the tits. Like, I totally whiffed it.
It's very distracting.
It's very distracting. Other than that, those are the standout sub-stories, but I can't really think of anything that was next level.
I think we've covered pretty much every sub-story now.
Oh, there was another one that I thought of just now. It's in Camera Roadshow, and I think it deals with, like, I think it's like, it happens like it happens near, on the street where New Serena is, where it's like an explosion happens, and Kira's like, what the hell was that? And you look over and you see, like, this dude on the ground, and there's like people gather around him, and then it's like it follows up with like you getting into this like cult or whatever.
Oh yes, that's so good. That is actually from, and this might be a spoiler for Zero, but that is actually from Yakuza 0.
Oh,
that whole bit is with the cultists and Kiryu joining them. That's a sub-story Majima has to do in 0.
Jesus, how was it fucking cult?
Oh, well, I can't remember now. Oh, yeah, it's not coming to me. I just played through it the other day. It's
30-year cult.
It's no. It actually wraps up one of the characters. Like the original leader of the cult comes back in 6, and you actually get some closure on that character.
Oh, so we can wrap up stuff from 0, but we can't wrap up stuff from the other game.
Well, I mean, that's what they kind of did. They wrapped up the Pocket Circuit Fighter guy. They wrapped up the cult leader.
Okay, but what about Majima?
Yeah.
I'm still hoping we get a Majima closure game sometime soon. But I hope they handle this much better. Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities with 0.
What else? I don't know what else they could do with Majima, though.
Just to have him exist.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
2 new cam girls.
Yeah. But I feel like Majima's at the point now, though, where it's like, he's such an over-the-top character. He worked really well in 0 because he hadn't reached that craziness level yet. Whereas bringing him in for his own game now, I could only see him as a goofball like he was in Dead Souls.
He wasn't much of a goofball in 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, this is something that he was only like really tremendously crazy in 1 and 2.
And Dead Souls.
I think he was...
and Dead Souls, but this is obviously...
I think he was crazy in a sense... I think in 1 and 2 he was crazy in a sense of violence. Yeah. But he got... I found after 2 they just started making him goofier and goofier, just making him more over the top. Like, every time Majima's on screen, he's going to steal the show by doing something silly.
I wouldn't agree with this. I mean, in 4, he didn't do any types of crazy stuff. I mean, he was also rather introspective, I think. In 5, he was also just very low-key, hiding and stuff.
Okay, but when he was on... To be fair, he was also, like, tied up, I think, at the end of 5, wasn't he? Like, if I recall, they brought him out literally in chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was not his goofiness shining through. It was just him being captured.
Very true.
You were wrong.
No, I disagree. I think if you go back and look at that character shift...
He fucking loves being in chains, man. That's the joke.
Okay. I had a... Well, Cal's looked like he...
What? No, I don't know.
Oh, you're holding your hand up.
Oh, I didn't even play the game.
Not all of it. You've been slowly working your way through.
Now that we talk about sub-stories, there's something else that came to my mind. The one where there was this group who was against the Chinese, and they were like threatening to blow up all the Chinese stores, and you like fight someone from Lau Ka-long's last his group, like a survivor or some shit. And then you see sometime later you see billboard with this guy captured and a masked man next to him with a knife in his hand, and I was like, really? Are they trying to copy the Islamic State or something?
No, yeah.
That was a little bit
typical negotiating touch.
The one I really liked was I think it's a sub story where there's like bombs hidden around Kamurocho. I thought that was really cool. Like
yeah, that
having to go and track it down. I thought that was really interesting, and then you got to cut the right wire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I could read Japanese for that one thing.
Yeah, Google Translate app, man, that saved my ass.
No, I actually knew that one. Thank you.
Yeah. So how did you guys feel about the extra stuff around Kamurocho? Like, I thought the ghosts, I thought they were really cool, but kind of there was only like maybe
they're just like Easter eggs, not really anything.
Yeah, and then I thought the UFOs were a nice extra thing, but I didn't see the point. Like, there's no sub story as far as I know tied to the UFO sightings, is there?
No, there isn't. There isn't.
Like, it just, it feels like they're just there, and then you take off the item and they're gone. It feels kind of weird. Does anyone know if there's anything else like that? Like, just something that changes the state of the world? Like, we got the UFO, we've got ghosts. Is there anything else?
Yes, I am close to it right now because I'm playing 6. Oh. It's when the restaurant burns down, when Utah burns it down. There's scaffolding and...
yes.
And it's covered up.
Yeah.
Huh. So, given that Purgatory is not there anymore, it's closed off, and their reasoning is that there's sewer flooding, does anyone else think that that's what they're trying to say there? Like, has Purgatory flooded? Like, the whole underground area?
That seems like a big thing to not talk about.
Yeah, like, all of the cops around the area saying, oh no, there's sewer flooding over here, no one can go in this area for now, and there's renovation over in...
you cut off right there on the Discord. Could you repeat, please?
Oh, Deacon? Yeah, there is... The police standing in the way of Kamurocho Hills, they're saying that there's been flooding in the sewers, so you can't go up here. That's the reasoning. And over in the Champion District, they're saying that... what is it? They're renovating a hotel, I believe, that's near the district, so they've shut it down. But given where Purgatory is, the underground area of Purgatory, wouldn't the sewer flooding mean that the whole Purgatory area has been flooded? Does that explain away things?
Now let's be honest in here. This fucking asshole has a pleasure district under the city.
Yeah.
If he has so much money to afford such a thing, he would most likely avoid all of this flooding. I don't know. It was very weird to leave this one out because it has been in every game so far.
I thought that was so weird. And they've been building towards it. Like, I really feel like they've been kind of pushing Kamurocho Hills as the next Millennium Tower. Like, every single game, as it's progressed, you've had fights over in that area. And every
also,
game
no Colosseum fights, man. No Colosseum fights this
what
time
the hell
around.
was up with that? I can't believe they removed the entire Colosseum. That was crazy.
Yeah. I can understand it as well. But hey, it is what it is now. We can't change it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think it was worth it? Do you think this is a good send-off for Kiryu? Do you think they should have maybe spent more time on it, fleshed out a little bit further? Or
I think that's a given.
Or do you think that it was better to just end it now, get Kiryu's arc done, and then move on to something else?
As far as Kiryu's story goes, yeah. Gameplay-wise, they could have put in a little bit more, but I'm happy with what I got.
Okay.
Yeah, the game was more or less what I was expecting. It is disappointing that that there's like things that were left out that have been in previous games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, that was probably just a result of the way they develop these games, and
I think so too. I think they also had a different director on this one, if I recall. So like it's usually Nagoshi or Yokoyama, but I think they had a whole new director leading the project on this one.
That's what you were saying, yeah.
So I don't know how much that attributed to it though.
Right.
The thing that I think bugged me the most was the missing characters. Like you can't tout the game as a end of a 10-year like legacy, and then just not bring in characters that have been in it since the first game. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough to just show them riding in a car. It felt like they put in such a small amount of effort to close these other stories. That was the most disappointing thing for me. But by the time I reached the final chapter of the game, I was like, well, what's happening with everybody else?
Yeah.
Cal, what about you?
Game was shit.
Hey,
that's easy and straight to the point. Now, what do I think? I think the ending fit. I think it was a good ending and a good decision on Kiryu's side, because given his life and whatever happened in it, it was bound to happen that his orphanage was about to get under fire with him around. Gameplay-wise, I was very mixed, but the more I played it, when I was finishing all the sub-stories, the game kind of grew on me, so I like it right now. Obviously, the lack in the two most important districts in the game and the supporting characters I hated this, I have to admit.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the supporting cast this time around because they actually felt useful.
Yeah.
Okay.
They weren't just like there for a couple of cutscenes and they were gone. They actually fought with you. This was a very positive thing that I have to point out.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is a typical Yakuza affair for me. The villains were... Some of the villains were shit, but some of the others were rather good. I especially enjoyed Someya and Jungi Han. Jungi Han was just fucking awesome. Slick, sleazy bastard.
Yeah.
With a fucking grudge. That was good.
Yeah.
Who was... I'm drawing a blank on the name. Was it Tsuneo? I believe it was.
Iwami. Iwami was
the guy he had with the glasses and the suit, and then he takes his suit off and he's like super buff, and he's got he's got this bodybuilder's like amazing body, and he's got this tiny little head with glasses. It was so weird.
So a boring Japanese salaryman comes in with his bubble era hairstyle, his goofy glasses, and his tidy suit. He takes his shirt off and he fucks you up.
Oh, it was...
Jesus Christ.
I would love to see those character models side by side, because there's no way all of that muscle was hidden under that tiny suit. It looked like a completely different body that they used.
Does anyone know what kind of mythological beast was on Iwami's back? Because that was actually rather rad, I have to admit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I'd like to elaborate on my review. I think Kiryu should have died.
Yeah. I think so too. I don't think there can be closure for Kiryu, because just they make such a point in all the games saying that he's the kind of person that drags other people towards him. People wants to get him involved in their lives, and I think that faking his death, there's always going to be something else that happens. 3...
He can't escape it.
Well, 3 is a good example of that, because you spend the majority of the opening of that game with nothing going on, and you still get drawn into people's bullshit.
Yep.
So,
he's a meddler. He likes to meddle in other people's business.
People ask him to meddle.
But he says yes.
Of course he does. What, is he going to say no?
Yeah. No, I can't help you.
You know what? You're such a good guy. I'll help you with a crisis.
Yeah, no, if someone came up to me and said, hey, I think I saw a kappa in this sewer over here, I'd be like, let's go fucking find it right now. Clear my fucking schedule. Awesome. We're going kappa hunting. I can't blame Kiryu for wanting to get involved.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think, is that everybody? Everybody give their thoughts on the ending, what they thought?
Fair
enough. Okay, guys. Well, I think that's a good spot to wrap up. Does anyone have any other thoughts about the game?
I just hope that, getting off of 6 for a bit, I hope that 0 does really well.
Yeah.
In sales, and I hope that with people like Angry Joe putting out a review for it, which I think is really cool. I just hope he gives it a positive review, so that way people will actually look into it. But but knowing how it is, if it's always going to be this way, I wouldn't mind Yakuza staying niche and small, and just having this dedicated fan base, because I fucking love Yakuza. I don't want them to give any more than what they give out. I just wish they'd bring them out sooner.
Yeah.
Right.
The wait still kills me, but at least you know what, we've only got a year.
I'm just surprised that we're getting Kiwami in half a year.
That's crazy. Like,
yeah.
And then 6 in March 2018.
Yeah, 6 got announced to be released in the West before it released in the Japan.
Yeah, that was the most shocking thing of that PSX. I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah, that PSX was like getting a left-right combo from Mike Tyson right there, man.
Yeah.
No one expected that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expects to get Kiwami.
Yeah, so what do you guys expect out of Yakuza 7? Where do you think they'll take the story?
I want to rephrase that. Do you think that they're going to bring it to the Switch?
No.
I
on.
Then why was Nagoshi there? Huh?
Because he's the CCO of Sega.
Yeah, fucking dumbass.
Who the fuck else are they going to bring out? It's like a guy in a Sonic costume?
Yeah.
Who's more recognizable?
No, he said specifically his studio was working on something that...
He's the CCO.
Yes, but he still works
They're all of his studios.
God, that's not what I mean.
Cal,
okay, fine. Yakuza 7. It's going to be shit.
It's gonna be good.
But it's going to be
Yakuza 7 coming to the Switch.
Wait, listen. It's going to be some fucking tasty shit. That's for sure.
I think so too. Now that they've got the engine in place, if all they're doing now is polishing up the story and the battle system, I am so excited to see what they add for the next game.
But who are they going to make it about? Is it Kiryu?
She's in the girls.
It's going to feel like Yakuza 2 all over again, I hope.
I think so too. I think they're going to polish it all up and just... It's going to feel like such a change. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned that when they said it's Kiryu's last game, that Kiryu's going to be back with a different name and a mustache. Then that's how they're going to get around. I really hope...
It's like the opposite of MGS2.
But that's exactly why I said I wish that they would have just killed Kiryu off. If they could just be done with him, they wouldn't have to worry about relying on him to carry the series forward. To me, it would be the laziest thing that they could do with the next Yakuza game would be to bring back Kiryu, because they wouldn't have faith that they could do something new.
Well, you gotta think, Kiryu's just been like the poster child for so long.
Yeah.
And and he's basically the most recognizable character out of everyone, but I feel like if they just did it like how they did with 4 and 5, and just keep him pushed back by having him be like the smaller stuff.
Yeah.
I absolutely wouldn't mind having Kiryu back in the later games. Just, I don't want him to be playable.
Yeah, I could sure.
And I wouldn't mind having him be involved in some part of the story, because that's just how, honestly, I expected it to be. I didn't expect Kiryu to die. There was no way that they were going to kill off Kiryu.
Mm-hmm. No, that was also my feeling. I mean, the way I felt about watching all these trailers and the coverage about the game was Kiryu's last story, his legend ends, and then I was thinking back several years before when MGS4 was announced, and you saw and you heard all of these things like Snake trying to kill himself with a gun and stuff, and what happened in the end, it was apparently implied, then the credits rolled, and Snake couldn't do it, and then he survived at the end anyway, so...
Fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Okay, Metal Gear Talk. I think that I think that the point of Metal Gear 4 was hope and change, and him not being able to kill himself, but still Big Boss dying. Yes, we're doing Metal Gear spoilers now. I think that was kind of the point of that game, was to get rid of those the troubles of Snake's past.
It was the sins of our father type thing. Like get rid of.
He was finally able to let that go. He didn't need to kill himself.
Yeah, and Otacon and his father was the same thing. Like, you know, if you go play Peace Walker and stuff, they're both kind of living in the shadows of the past, and they broke free of that. Now we're at Metal Gear Talk. This is my territory.
Yeah, so get ready for hour number 2, Metal Gear Spoilercast.
Okay, really. Let's.
But I really hope that they will not do a cop-out like they did with God of War, like Kratos killing himself at the end and everything being destroyed and it's over. And then him just magically reappearing in fucking Norway or Sweden or whatever. Fighting Norse gods or what?
You know what? That has me more interested in the God of War series.
Yeah, actually, I am also very hyped for God of War 4. But if something is supposed to be final, then let it be final.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, there's always the promise of a quick buck, so people will do anything for that.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to see what they come up with next. I really do hope it's on the Switch, just because I want the games out to more people. And I'll be honest, I want to take it on the go. Like,
that's if people can get a Switch.
Hey, I just pre-ordered mine today. I'm good.
I pre-ordered mine.
Same.
You can crucify me for this comment right now, but I have no fucking interest for the Switch. I never was into mobile gaming and Nintendo. The only thing that I cared about Nintendo was the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance.
But Puyo Tetris.
It's also the PS4.
Okay, but then again, what if you can't get Yakuza on the Switch? And then, what if you have to go to work? You got to sit there in your forklift, play some Yakuza.
You know, the controls on the forklift are rather intricate, and I don't know if having a portable console next to it.
It'll be fine.
I mean, I'm already. Oh, fuck! My microphone fell off. I'm already catching some flack for driving in my closed-off forklift, bumping metal music so loud that people can hear it from a soundproof forklift, no less. And I think me listening to some metal and playing Yakuza, I think heads will roll, most definitely.
But I'm getting it because for like the past year, I've been having like fucking bowel problems. So like 4 hours of the day, you're gonna like see me in the restroom taking a shit.
Lenny's online again.
And so I'm just like, okay, I'm really bored in here, and my phone keeps dying like really fast. So I'm just like,
have you seen those Switch specs? I wouldn't expect more from that. I think they said between 2 and 4 hours battery life.
Yeah.
Don't drop that controller in the toilet.
Yeah, $100.
But like honestly, like the Switch is kind of perfect for just with me and my family. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I just mainly got it, is because I knew that my mom would like to play it, like how she played with the Wii. Mm-hmm. My sister, she'd love it. She's casual. And they have a bunch of casual shit coming out on it, like that 1-2 switch shit. Like, what the fuck was that?
Oh, that looks fucking amazing. Like,
we are gonna be cowboys.
No. Did you guys see that? There's like a milking mini game where you hold the controller and like it puts like a cow udders on the screen, and you got to pretend to milk a cow while you stare into each other's eyes.
I totally pay.
It's doing sense for Matt. This will be a nice
some
date.
Weird shit. It looks really good.
But concerning the Switch, I just really, really, really fucking hope that Nintendo just pulls fucking through this time. I mean, I love the look of the new Mario. I just love it. Yeah. I know people are complaining about it, but I absolutely love that.
Who are these people?
Yeah, really.
No, I've got nothing bad to say about the Switch stuff we've seen so far. Yeah, really? I mean, I'm one of the people who supported the Wii U. I love that system.
What, you know you were? You didn't even want me to buy it.
I wanted to get it eventually.
I like the Wii U too, but I just can't really play it myself. The reason why is because I just don't like the idea of the touchpad.
Oh...
And I know that sounds really weird because considering that, like, I'm getting a Switch.
I was gonna say the Switch has a touchpad.
but like, I mean, like, it's like two screens. That's basically what I mean. Because like the Switch, it's just one screen. It's just one screen.
Yeah.
And you can take it anywhere, and that's the main reason why I'm looking forward to the Switch. It's because it's a home console on the go.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a home console on the go, and I'm able to play whatever games they release for it. If any modern developer is going to optimize and release for it, I'll be glad.
I think it's going to be a lot easier for developers to optimize for it, just because they don't have to worry about that second screen shit. Like, I think there's going to be so many more ports that actually make it this time.
Yeah, the tablet is the console.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, 3DS.
Do you think Team Riga will port anything that they've already done?
Personally, I don't think they're not going to do anything with Zengaku.
Yeah,
after the colossal Wii U failure.
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't necessarily say it's because of the Wii U version. I'd just say it's because of how irrelevant it is on Nintendo platforms.
Yeah, Nintendo, especially in Japan, has that
toy.
Yeah, it feels like a toy. It feels like a thing for families, and I remember people like being upset that Yakuza was coming like to a Nintendo platform because it didn't feel like it was for families.
This is hilarious because this is exactly what the first game went through on the PS2 years ago.
Yeah, but it actually rang true. Like, it was a good fit for the PS2, but apparently Yakuza is not a good fit for Nintendo platforms. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's because Yakuza is a much more brutal series.
Yeah.
And, now with the Wii U and Nintendo taking bigger risks with mature rated games, I feel like they probably have some more confidence about having some more violent games on their system and publishing under their label.
This is something that I was wondering myself.
But I don't...
Whose idea was it to port Manhunt 2 to the Wii?
Okay, I'm going to be honest. It was probably someone who was like really high during a meeting. It's like, okay. What is the one thing that we haven't tested the waters with? Putting our one still rated AO game onto a platform that's considered for kids.
2 to 51 games.
Ship it.
Motion controls for the murders, man.
Yeah. Give that man a raise.
That's here right there. Give this man the pipe.
Yeah. Speaking of like violent games, like basically the thing that kind of pretty much sold me on the Switch was when Suda 51 showed up. I was
no more heroes.
I was like, what?
No, as soon as Nagoshi popped up, he didn't even announce anything. He didn't show anything. He was there. It was like seeing a leprechaun. I started freaking out.
We'll consider it.
Yeah.
That's probably the best part of the conference for me. It's just that he literally said they will consider releasing games for this Switch.
Yeah.
Then the crowd goes wild.
I was like, Cal, you can attest this. I was sitting here freaking out.
Well, I screamed at you.
Yeah, and he's like not saying anything.
It's just there.
This new console looks good. We might do something for it.
Yakuza 7 Switch exclusive confirmed, man.
Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. If Sega really want to try to put more interest in trying to push Yakuza onto the Switch, they need to port Kiwami and Kiwami 2, if that's ever going to come out.
Yeah.
And push that on the Switch. Bundle them together like how they're doing Dragon Quest Heroes.
Yes, for sure.
And push that on them. And be able to introduce an entirely new fan base. Because, it's... Because it's still a PlayStation exclusive series. It's just the only problem is that isn't there some kind of Sony stuff in Yakuza?
I think there's I think there's some Walkman stuff in Yakuza 0, but I think overall Sony stuff.
But the Walkman stuff.
Oh yeah,
Sony stuff is in Metal Gear, so.
I think there was a commercial for some PlayStation-related stuff in the game, but this could be easily taken out. So,
or just leave it. Who cares?
I don't know which game it was. I think it was in 5, maybe on the Squares. But maybe
it's not a huge issue. Like Banjo-Kazooie has a
really
Game Boy
non-factor, so.
And it was on the Xbox version. He's still playing the Game Boy, so.
Yeah, they might just leave it because it's older.
Exactly.
But I could see them bringing that. Nintendo is well aware their fan base is aging.
I just really, really hope that. Because I'm going to be honest, Yakuza on the Switch would be pretty fucking badass. I'd fucking love it. I'd buy it.
It's super appealing to me to take it with me. Like, I spend like 4 hours a week in dance classes just doing nothing. I would love to just be sitting there playing Yakuza.
Yeah.
The fact that you take dance classes kind of...
To clarify, he's not taking
to clarify, I take my kids to dance classes. I sit there and eat a big bag of chips.
and in secret, when no one's listening and no one's watching, Deacon performs the greatest river dance ever.
That is my greatest secret. I peek in at the door and just watch ballerinas and learn.
Yeah,
I'm like the Goodwill Hunting. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for the 20-minute Nintendo discussion. I had a good time.
No
I'm glad we got to have a bit of a discussion here about what we thought. I'm glad there was a bit of a difference of opinion. So, okay, well, thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.